Hey guys, Eckhart Slaughter here on day 3 of Star Wars Celebration, and things have continued to be exciting with today's reveal of Star Wars Battlefront 2. And I say reveal, but really, the game has been confirmed to be coming out, and we did see a leaked TV spot earlier in the week, but today we got a full trailer and we got some information about the game, so I thought why not make a quick video just to summarize things for those who haven't been keeping up. So let's first kind of take a look at the trailer and see what we can learn about the game from that. So the trailer, along with the panel, confirmed what many of us expected, and that's that the game will have a dedicated single player mode. And further to that, we learned that we'll be exploring the single player mode through the eyes of an Imperial Special Forces commander named Iden Versio. So we know a few things about Iden, and the first is that she's clearly very highly ranked within the Imperial military. We see her leading troopers and actually getting direct orders from Emperor Palpatine through one of his Sentinel droids, and she was present on Endor during the Rebels' destruction of the Death Star 2. After which she's going to go off and presumably keep fighting for the Emperor, and we don't know how deeply she becomes part of the First Order after they form. However, given she says she's been waiting 30 years basically to strike back at the Republic, and her voiceover is seen over Starkiller Base, I think we can presume that she's probably involved in some way. The panel revealed that her backstory would be fleshed out through some novels, but also that she comes from a world where, although the Empire kind of occupied it, they did so as a sort of friendly occupation, so her and her family were very pro-Empire. Regarding story mode, other than that, we learned that we will come across Luke and Kylo, and that we will be able to play as the two characters. And at one point we'll also visit Iden's homeworld of Vardos, which I just mentioned as willingly joining the Empire. Alright, so let's talk about multiplayer and the rest of the game. The first thing and the biggest thing that we learned is that all 3 eras will be playable, and they showed shots of clone troopers on Kamino, First Order stormtroopers, basically everything in between, so I know that's a big relief to a lot of people. Also returning is a class-based system, so unlike Battlefront 1 where you basically got to just choose your weapon, in this you'll be choosing whether you're an infantry or a sniper or an officer. That's the 3 that they mentioned. On top of this, you'll also be able to upgrade your character outside of battle. So this is basically the standard progression system that's in most multiplayer games right now, but I'm not really a huge fan of that, but I can overlook it as long as you can't basically destroy every other unit on the field by putting a ton of hours into the game. The next big thing is space battles. The trailer indirectly and the panel directly confirmed that space battles would be returning in the game. And the trailer was interesting because it showed Inferno Squad ship flying through battles and also showing some kind of traditional capital ship engagements. So there will be space battles, and there was also some concept art which showed kind of the traditional Battlefront 2 get inside a capital ship and capture objectives type of gameplay. And regarding spaceships, they told us also that the spaceships will be upgradable and they're almost treated like a hero, so you can progress with your spaceship, presumably unlocking additional features and perhaps some skins. And also on that point, they talked about the Last Jedi content. The game does come out a month before the movie, so it seems like there's not going to be any battles or anything, at least at launch, but there will be some unlockable skins. And they also said an unlockable First Order starfighter, if you pre-order the game, of course. Regarding locations and eras, as I mentioned, there was a clip of Kamino, and we saw also a brief shot of Mos Eisley on Tatooine. But if you look closely, you can also kind of confirm that most likely we're going to see Hoth, Endor, Starkiller Base, Jakku, Yavin 4, Naboo, Vardos, which again is the home planet of the main character. And it almost looks like there's a shot of the Shield Gate from Rogue One over Scarif, so that's also very interesting. Other than that, they confirmed a max of 40 players for ground-based battles and 20 for space modes. We don't really know what kind of form that the space mode will take. They kind of said that they created, for example, the VR experience, the X-Wing experience that came out as sort of a lead-up to what's going to be present in Battlefront 2. I don't know if capital ships will be able to be attacked or boarded, but we can hope so. And really, the panel and the trailer were quite good. I was only really worried about how vehicles are going to work in the new game. In the first 2 Battlefront games, being able to enter into any vehicle with your friends is probably one of the most fun and most important parts of the gameplay. And of course, Battlefront 2 changed this by having vehicles unlocked through cards or through pickups, and I don't know, a lot of people, myself included, didn't like this at all. And unfortunately, they didn't mention anything about this in the panel, and they kind of went out of their way to address the other main concerns, lack of 3 eras and no single player mode, which kind of leads me to believe that perhaps the Battlefront 1, EA Battlefront 1 style vehicles will still be present in Battlefront 2. At this point, that's a relatively small concern, but it is something that I'm going to be keeping my eyes on. However, I am excited for a lot of what they offer. The idea of an Inferno Squad, a dedicated, Empire Special Forces Unit, and seeing basically the story from Return of the Jedi all the way up to the Force Awakens is really exciting to me. As does the inclusion of 3 eras and, heroes from 3 eras. I mean, who doesn't want to play as Darth Maul, Kylo Ren, all of your favorites, along with the original trilogy characters, of course. Anyways, guys, I want to hear what you think. Let me know in the comments what you thought of the Battlefront 3 panel today and what you thought of the trailer. And will you be buying Battlefront 2? Will you be pre-ordering it? As always, I'm going to suggest don't pre-order a game. You can always just digitally download it the day of if it's good. But of course, that's just my opinion. Thank you so much for watching, guys. As always, may the Force be with you.